Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Sari. Shout out to Vanessa. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Thank you for asking. Shout out to Ziana. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Chastity. Or Chastity, sorry. Chastity. Chastity, yes, I live streamed yesterday. Shout out to, yes, I live stream every day. Shout out to Matt Christie. Shout out to Jennifer. Hi Jennifer, how are you? Shout out to Ushil. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you for joining everyone. How's everyone doing? Matt Christie, yes, I am. Shout out to Ziana. I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you for asking. Shout out to Kamora. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Azumi. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Azumi. Shout out to Zion. Shout out to Bronson. Shout out to Donna Iam. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ronan. Whoops, Ronan. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Avea. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Let's try to get to 50 likes. Shout out to Tenny. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Daisy. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Kane. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Betty. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Carly. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to Connie. Shout out to Lila. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Connie. Oh, I already put Connie. Whoops. Shout out to Skylar. Shout out to Corey. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Uzi. Shout out to Kemoya. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to Callie. Shout out to Esmeralda. Shout out to Dominic. Shout out to Raquel. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Fifi. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kyrie. Whoops, was it Kyrie like this? Oh no, it was without the E. Shout out to Florence. Shout out to Kalia. Shout out to Sanji. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Jimwell. Shout out to Floricelli. Shout out to Jayla. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Cassidy. Shout out to Patricia. Shout out to Gladys. Shout out to Patricia, I got you right here. Shout out to Sailor. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Liercy. Shout out to Louie, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to David. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Alina. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Matthias or Matthias. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Oops, there's two T's. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Marissa, happy birthday. Shout out to Miguel. Shout out to Divine. Shout out to Kiko, happy birthday. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Kenley. Sorry if I haven't gotten to you. I'm so sorry. The live stream is going really fast for me. Shout out to Imani. Shout out to Bhavna. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Declan. Matthias, I got you right here. Shout out to Reina. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Blanca. Shout out to JJ. Thank you for 50 likes. Shout out to Alexia. Shout out to Amira. Shout out to Piper. Shout out to Andrea. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Annalie. Shout out to Musa. Shout out to Jessie. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Richie. Shout out to Lucy. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Fabi. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to B. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to Alondra. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Emerson. Shout out to Kay Joy. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Ludwin. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Sunzi. Shout out to Pixie. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Ian. Shout out to Skyla. Shout out to Beckett. Shout out to these people. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my shout outs. I also post other content. I hope you can check it out as well. Thank you for being here. On to the next page. Shout out to Blairit. Oh, how do you spell Blairit? Oh, there we go. 2 T's. Shout out to Dewey. Shout out to Taji. Shout out to Scarlett. Shout out to Dafa. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Elsa. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Zyla. Shout out to Bauer. Whoops. There we go. Shout out to Vivian. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Azul. Shout out to Jaskirat. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Olivia. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Boston. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Rylan or Raylan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Esteban. Shout out to Shayna. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to William. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Jill. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Jess. Shout out to Claudio. Shout out to Bailey. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my shout outs. Shout out to Emiliano. Shout out to Ayana. Shout out to Lila Lee. We're almost at 100 likes. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Atlas. Shout out to Jane. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Gracie. Shout out to London. Shout out to Sully. Shout out to London. Shout out to Kamila. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Scott. Shout out to Lola. Shout out to Shuling. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Spencer. Shout out to Francis. Shout out to Ivana. Shout out to Summer. Shout out to Josiah. Thank you for 100 likes. Shout out to Aura. Shout out to Javier. Shout out to Sakina. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Lucy. Shout out to Giovanna. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Selena. Shout out to Avery. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Diana. Shout out to Amira. Shout out to Carla. Oh, Carla with a K? Oh yeah, Carla. Shout out to Ryder. Shout out to AJ, shout out to Alifa, shout out to Vala, shout out to Krista, shout out to Erin, shout out to Luana, shout out to Macy, shout out to Aubrey, shout out to Kara or Kara, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ria or Raya, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Gabriella. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my live streams. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Autumn. Shout out to Dario. Shout out to Briella. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Daisy. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Lamar. Leave a like if you're enjoying the shout outs. Let's try to get to 150 likes. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Sky. Shout out to Axlin. Shout out to Ariel. Shout out to Avery. Oh, I already put Avery. Shout out to Anaya. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the shout outs. Please subscribe if you like the shout outs. I also post other content that I hope you can check out. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Morgan. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Adelaide. Shout out to Alexia. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Dana. Shout out to Valeria. Shout out to Kenna. Shout out to Sierra. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Emmy. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Errol. Oh no, I missed the name. Errol? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Henry. Shout out to Iran. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Quinn. Shout out to Alexis. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Myla. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Leilani. Shout out to Talia. Shout out to Tenaya. Shout out to Luis. Shout out to Darren. Shout out to Patricia. Shout out to Nursena. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you for being here. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Eloisa. Oh, Eloisa. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Diana. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Phoenix. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Alex. Thank you for subscribing. Whoops. Shout out to Ciara. Shout out to Briley. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Paige. Shout out to Mallory. Shout out to Chandria. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Kino. Shout out to Clover. Shout out to Leia. Shout out to Jovan. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Kenley. Shout out to Hallie. Shout out to Jared. Shout out to Mikey. Shout out to Rihan. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to Raya. Oh, how do you spell Raya? Shout out to Avery Reed. Shout out to Kalia. Shout out to Mackenzie. Shout out to Alondra. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also subscribe if you enjoy my content. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Emerson. Shout out to Delilah. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Reagan. Whoops. Shout out to Kino. Shout out to Zuri. Shout out to Costina. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Claire. Shout out to Selena. Shout out to Saida. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Yagana. Oh wait, how do you pronounce that? Yagane. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Whoops. Shout out to Saida. Oh, Saida, was it with two? Oh, it was two E's. Shout out to Rain. Shout out to Felix. Shout out to Valerie. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Ren. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Natalia. Shout out to Audrina. Shout out to Febin, or Febin. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Diva. Shout out to Majesty. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Raya. Shout out to Kalia. Shout out to Nicole. Thank you for subscribing. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. We're almost at 200 likes. Shout out to Louise. Shout out to Amina. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to RJ. Yes, Nicole. Yeah, that was for you. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Artemis. Shout out to Ophelia. Shout out to Brookie. Shout out to Cupcake. Shout out to Donovan. Shout out to Sean or Shan. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Armani. Shout out to Serenity. Shout out to Dario. Shout out to Keller. Shout out to Sailor. Or Siler. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Miley. Or Miley. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Liv. Shout out to Stefan. Or Stefan. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Alisa. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Manon. Shout out to Laith. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. We're 10 likes away from 200. We're almost there. Thank you, Muna. You too. Shout out to Giovanna. Shout out to Viviana. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Abby. Shout out to Asemi. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Eloas. Eloas. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Claudia. Shout out to Ashanti. Shout out to Rain. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to Lisbeth. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Myrna. Shout out to Xiomara. Shout out to Saeed. Thank you for 200 likes. Shout out to Machi or Maki. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Loie. Shout out to Lexi. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Abel. Shout out to London. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying my shout outs. Shout out to Veja. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Mopsy. Shout out to Imran. Shout out to Freza. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Jonah. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Flora. Shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Dina. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Salim. Shout out to Legacy. Shout out to Nevaeh. Shout out to Roos. Shout out to Anai. Or Anai, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Danuko. Oh no, was it? Oh, Danuka, sorry. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Bodhi. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Sama. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Kendra. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to Sashina. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Zion. Shout out to Nilly. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Josie. Let's try to get to 250 likes. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Alice. Shout out to Marley. Shout out to Alana. Shout out to Leia. Shout out to Sherry. Shout out to Esme. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Reggie. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Winnie. Shout out to Dallas. Shout out to Vicky. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Elisa. Or Eliza. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. We're almost at 250 likes. Please like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Tenley. Shout out to Penelope. Shout out to Callie. Shout out to Melina. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Seven. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Dariana. No, what was... Oh no, I know I misspelled it. Can you write your name again? Darina? I forgot. Shout out to Serene. Shout out to Noelia. Shout out to Nico. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Melanie. Shout out to Cheyenne. Oh, thank you. So Darina. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Soleil. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Yuki. Shout out to Joss. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Yanina. Shout out to Novali. Shout out to Yareli. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Kinley. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Happy birthday, Yareli. I got you right here. Shout out to Leandra. Shout out to May. Thank you for being here. I know, I'm sorry if I still haven't written your name down. It's because the live stream goes a little fast for me to write. Shout out to Zamira. Shout out to Angie. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Belky. Shout out to Shauna. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Dominica. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Shruthika. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Diana. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Dixie. Shout out to Caleb. Shout out to Kiki. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to Junie. Shout out to Paige. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Jameer. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Fortune. Shout out to Tawny. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Ira. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Jocelyn. Shout out to Natalisha. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Marcos. Shout out to Chris Bell. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Rhea. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Emiki. Shout out to Eve. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Emily. Oh, Emily. Emily, I got you. Yeah, I'm so sorry. The live stream goes really fast for me. Shout out to Natalie. Shout out to Peyton. Oh, I got Peyton right here. Shout out to Bryson. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to Inaya. Shout out to these people. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my shout outs. I will do another live stream again later today, if not tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry if I didn't get to write your name. But if you subscribe, I do other live streams and I do other shout outs, so maybe you'll get your turn next time. Thank you so much for your patience and thank you for writing your name down. I truly appreciate it. Have a great day or a great night. Take care.